Hey everyone, it's Risha, and this is my third week reflection, which is crazy because I can't believe it's already the third week. So this week, I feel like the focus was really more on the elements and learning about the elements. And so we learned about the five elements, right? Earth, water, wind, fire, and void. And the funny thing was, going in, when we had briefly spoken about the elements, I really assumed I would be a water person because that's kind of what I would associate myself with. Like, I think I kind of shy away from confrontation a little bit and stuff like that. But then once we really sat down and read about the elements, I kind of realized that I'm really not water. I think water is what I wished I was, but I'm really not. I feel like watery people are a little bit more calm than I am, and I feel like I can tend to not be calm. So I actually found myself really associating with weak negative earth and strong positive fire. So for weak negative earth was something that totally was different than what I expected. Weak negative earth is the kind of person who's so weak that they're almost manipulative. And I don't know if my own traits go that far, but I definitely, after reading that, realized that I do play up the whole weak and like I can't do it act to get people to do it for me. And I don't think I had ever accepted that I do that before I read that, and I said, wait a second, like that's me, that's what I do. And now, like, consciously I'm realizing that I do it and I'm trying to stop myself from doing it, which is so crazy because it's something inside of me and it's something I do, but I would have never realized that I do it without learning about the elements and stuff. And I just, to me, that's crazy and it's amazing, and I just think that's really fascinating. And with the strong positive fire, I found that strong positive fire are people who kind of are more outspoken and they're not afraid and they can be confident and fierce and stuff like that. And I feel like that's not me all the time, but I think I definitely have my moments where I kind of get that like mama bear type instinct, I guess, when people say things about my friends or my family. I don't hold back. I'm not the kind of person to be like, "Oh, like, it's fine. They just probably had a bad day." I don't think I have that in me. That have a lot of respect for people who can really see the other person's side and be like, oh yeah, they probably had a bad day and that's why they're lashing out. For me, it's hard because if somebody says something mean to one of my friends, I'm gonna go and call them out, and that's just part of who I am. And I think I need to work on honing it in, but also accepting it because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that I just need to balance my positive fire maybe with some more water qualities, and I think that I'll find the water qualities within myself. And I think that shying away from confrontation but also being a mama bear, like, it's such a paradox, and it's so crazy because I feel like we're all contradictions, we're all paradoxes. Like, that's, I feel like, part of being a human is that your own traits contradict each other, and that's just what it is what it is. You can't change it, you can't shame it. And then for the yoga and meditation, I feel like I'm getting slightly better at both of them because I really this week stressed to myself that I was going to focus on my breathing. Because in all honesty, the past 2 weeks, when they're like, breathe in and then go into downward dog, like, I kind of just breathe like how I normally do and then just do the movements. But this time during yoga this week, I had really, really said, like, you know what, I'm going to really try and do the breathing, and it helped me so much, like more than I even thought it was going to. It made it feel smoother, it made it feel more fluid. It actually even made it hurt less because I had something else to concentrate on. And that applied to the meditation too. I worked really hard to listen to Reggie and listen to what he was saying about breathing and everything. And that, for me, listening to his voice and really like kind of trying to put all of my attention in the words he was saying and doing what he was saying, that helped me sit for longer and sit comfortably for longer, because as soon as you go into your head and your own thoughts, like, that's when you want to move. It's because I feel like it's because as soon as you go into your own thoughts, your mind gets afraid of what you could discover if you weren't in your own thoughts. And that's why you want to move. You want to run away from it. You're afraid of the feelings, afraid of what you can discover. And I just feel like people have always said that to me, but experiencing that, feeling that when I go into my own head, like, oh, I have to move, my knees hurt. Suddenly my knees hurt. It's so interesting to me, at least, that like I could experience that. And then I feel like as a whole, I feel like I've gotten close to a lot more people in the group, and I really just love this group. I want to take a minute in this reflection to say how much I love this group. I think everyone is so awesome and we're so supportive, and I think that my experience would have been light years different with a group of different people. So I thought that was important to mention. And actually, something that happened this weekend was that I had basically found out a kind of upsetting piece of information from someone, and it was borderline upsetting, but borderline also not a big deal. And I found myself that in that situation, I would have been probably a lot more angry, maybe even jealous in that situation before, and I just realized that like how I dealt with that situation and how I dealt with what I was feeling, I literally sat down and I said, I need to think about what I'm feeling. Like, is what I'm feeling jealousy? Is what I'm feeling anger? Is what I'm feeling hurt because of the way this person told me something or because of the way they did whatever? And like, I feel like I just realized how different my state of mind is from from even like a month ago, from before we started this immersion. My state of mind now is so different. It's so that linear, that black and white philosophy that I used to have is like gone, and I didn't even realize it was gone, and I didn't even realize that I was able to actually like acknowledge my feelings, analyze my feelings until something came up that made me feel something. And I'm just really thankful for that, for the ability to be able to reflect and to understand what I'm feeling instead of just saying, I'm angry, I'm mad. And also the idea that we have a right to be angry, I think. I think that I always feel bad whenever I'm angry at someone. I'm like, well, I shouldn't be angry, but I think that we all have a right to be angry, and and what I think that stems from is people saying you don't have a right to be angry are those water people who don't want to see your fire. And I think that fire is just as worthy or just as important as water is. And I think that in our culture we actually suppress fire. In my opinion, I think we suppress fire and we maybe glorify water a little bit more. And I think that while fire can be dangerous, I think that it's really important to have that fierceness in you. And I think that I'm going to start embracing that more and embracing my more water side, hopefully, trying to work up those qualities and stuff. So, yeah, that was basically the third week, and I'm super excited for the fourth week. I'm also really sad because we're slowly getting to the end of immersion, and this has just been an amazing month, and I'm just really thankful for everything and for everyone in it, and God, I'm just really thankful for all of it. So, thanks.